Good morning. It is the 15th of October 2019. We're going to jump in to check out Bitcoin prices and add in another indicator to our daily routine. So in this episode, we're going to check out Bollinger Bands along with our regular routine of regular indicators. And of course, this isn't trading advice, just market observation. I appreciate you guys being along for these live streams at 5 o'clock in the morning. Let me know where in the world you are from. Let me turn down the music and just leave it softly in the background. Let me double check that this chat is actually working. Hey, M. Von First? I don't know. What do I call you? M Von? That's a new naming nomenclature for me. Good morning. Great to have you here. We are looking at the weekly price of Bitcoin and looking at the relative strength index. Last week, we were really watching for the indicator to make a V shape, and it held its own pretty good. But now we've got a bit of a weakening shape going on here. And the more this week's candle angles downward, the worse shape we're in for the bulls. So watching this unfold is going to be important. It's at pretty important levels, and that it bounces down from here is not good. If we're able to hold this trend line, okay, maybe we're still in that big bull run, but I think we're going to come down a little bit deeper, as we've seen in the past where it has come back down to these levels. No way to know, only time will tell. That's why we do this every day, is to see what is the difference between this indicator as we are zooming in now. So zoom in again, and I've been kind of watching for this trend line to break. Is that the break right there? Is it enough? It's certainly not sharp enough. And as we start to zoom in, we're starting to get into whale food zone. If you've had liquidations while you're looking at charts under the 4-hour time frame, you are whale food. You've been whale food. You are not. To say that you are something means that you can't change. And of course, we can learn. We can change our behavior. And that's why we're studying this stuff, so that we know what to change in our behavior, so that we are being consistently profitable and not trading when there isn't a good signal. And so going into the 1 hour, all of this stuff doesn't give me a good signal right now. Like, it looks kind of bearish, but it's all hanging on. And until it makes a break one way or another on these bigger time frames, I can't do much of anything. And the closer I get in, for my own part, the worse I trade. And so especially in this kind of spiky crap back and forth, if you're trying to take a position while it's breaking out, you're probably going to get screwed. And so you really need to have a smaller position that you are able to give more room to it. And if you're in the 15-minute time frame, you better be a black belt in trading already. Let's see. So I taught karate for 20 odd years, and I know the difference between an orange belt and a black belt. And you can do one punch, one reverse punch, and I can pretty much tell what skill level you have in your overall martial arts. And it's the same with trading. Really, you can tell a skill level a person has quickly, and a lot has to do with some of the same mistakes that I've always made in my trading. Is that I'm greedy at the beginning of a trade, so I put too large of a trade on at the beginning, and then I have too large of a loss if it goes against me, and I hold that loss because it's a big loss. I don't want to lose it. But the times where I trade with nice little small positions here, and I wait for myself to be proven correct, and then I add on to that, man, I do so much better, and it's so much more fun. It's so much more relaxing. It's so much less stressful. It is a complete change in the way you approach trading. So I hope that some of this stuff that I'm teaching myself is also helpful for you. This is not giving me anything to comment on. We've got a little bit of volume coming up and then some selling volume. It's just so crappy that you could only do a nano trade here, super small, nothing going on. Here now we're looking at the MACD indicator, and for me this has been one of the big ones for me. And as we're on the weekly view, we've been watching for this histogram to either shorten or lengthen. If it's shortening, we've got maybe some bullish stuff coming in. But if it's holding its own or lengthening, we're definitely getting more bearish action. And this is on the weekly view. So I'm keen to see how that unfolds this week. On the daily view, we've got a cross to the positive. We've got a potential for a break of this massive down trend line in our indicator. And if that breaks, it would be very good because we have a break of the downtrend line here. We have a break of the downtrend line here, and we get some nice moves up off of them. But still not definitive until this daily crosses above these levels. As we saw it here, as we saw it building and it crossed above those levels, we were going somewhere. But until we get back up above those levels in the daily view, I am still bearish. And you may have seen from other episodes where I'm expecting it to go down to $5,800, $6,100 level. And if this cross is negative, there's one of the first things that's actually giving us a real point to take an action on. If that cross is negative and we're breaking down below these levels, it would be a feather short, and we would do a larger short if we're proven in correct. Shorts are harder to trade. You've got to be there. 12, 4-hour time frame, weaker. It already crossed to the negative. Not so good. If it picks up and crosses to the positive while we're going up above these levels, maybe it'll save the day. 4-hour. Let's go into the 1-hour time frame. Negative, 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 right at these levels. I bet you the Ichimoku cloud is going to be just as negative as we're getting down here. Even on this short time frame, it's got there's a lot of negative going on here in this. Now the Ichimoku cloud. Oh, spoiler. Here we are. Oh yeah, I forgot about this arrow I pointed in there yesterday with that blue line crossing below the red. It's just staying there, but that is bearish. Daily view has been bearish for a while and remains bearish. Not picking up any kind of, I don't think it's picking up at all. And even if it does get up into these levels, that's a sell signal in the Ichimoku cloud in the downtrend. So I'm still not happy for bullish thinking. The 4-hour time frame crossed to the negative here a few days ago, and it has not given us any love juice. No, it seems to be going down here. So if you're a bear, this is giving you some setups where you could start to micro trade into that. And you know what? If it's starting to go fast, I'm still only doing a super small trade on this because it has just been so unreliable and flipping back and forth so much that risk control rules are more important than your entry levels. Pardon me, where are we now? 4-hour time frame. Zoom into the 1-hour time frame. Bearish. Bearish. And okay, I'm zooming in with my trying to see this. It's not really clear, but the blue has crossed down below the red, and it's not definitive because we're going sideways here so much, but that's just more evidence to the bear side. Just the littlest bits is all we need right now. That's the 1-hour time frame. 15-minute time frame, same crap, same cross to the negative. There we just got a little pump up here, so there's no action to take on this from this moment. And if you were to lay in with a limit order so that you're not paying taker fees, and you were to take a position long or short here, it wouldn't matter, you're flipping a coin really, I'd be more inclined for short right now. It would still be a super small trade, super small, and I would be able to absorb any movement in this without it being even really an effect on my overall trading account. So I might put on 0.5% of all of my equity onto this kind of trade, just so that I'm not FOMO, that I'm missing out on something, right? Just the littlest bit for my, then I can relax knowing that I got a piece of it and I'm only risking a very little bit to play. But really, I wouldn't be playing in this until later. It's just in the in-between point for me. Now, the Bollinger Band is a different way of approaching the market. This is much more short-term view. And for my own part, and I don't know much about this indicator, so if you know something about this and I'm making a fool of myself as I walk through this, please let me know in the comments down below. Bollinger Band is, buy at the bottom of the range, take off half of your position when it hits the middle of the range, take off the other part of your position as it comes to the top of the range, and get ready to go short. But like the RSI, while it's going up, it'll stay at the top of the range all the way along in the trend. All the way along in the trend, it's staying right at this top range. So help me out here. What do you do in the Bollinger Bands as we are actually in a trend? Because this is where the exponential moving averages and the 1, 2, 3 bottom and the 1, 2, 3 top really kick ass, is in these trends. And it doesn't do well in the sideways chop. It's meant for trend trading. So let's zoom in and see what this is telling us, because I've just have the basic settings on it. If there's different settings you recommend, again, leave those in the comments. I want to know. So as we're going up and we're breaking out of the 1, 2, 3 formation, the Bollinger Band is staying pretty much at the edge all the way along. Now, if I was to combine this with the Ichimoku cloud on the 1-day time frame and go back to this specific spot in, what was that, May? 1-day time frame. The daily doesn't give us the buy signal in the Ichimoku cloud quite the same, even though we did get a cross of the blue over the red and a recross. We do have the 1, 2, 3 trend continuation formation. And I want to go back and just look at that. The Bollinger Bands had us right at the very bottom of the bands at that moment. So I'm just picking out moments to see. Now, and the band was pretty thick here as we came to these levels. Here, the band came very thin like we are seeing now. So there are times where the band throttles in close and tight, and other times where the band is really, really wide, as we're breaking out. So now we've got a very tight band shaping up here on the daily view. You tell me, a tight band and then a big break? Let's zoom in. I haven't given the Bollinger Bands enough work and study. Really, I've spoken with John Bollinger online and really haven't taken his indicator and worked it. And I just haven't done the research. I haven't done the work to understand it, because he explains it and teaches it, right? Use it, make money with it. He shows how to do it. So I'll pay attention more to this, but right now it's in the middle of the band and not giving us any more answers than the other indicators were on this. You tell me if I'm missing something here. So on the 4-hour time frame now, we're starting to get into where it jumped right out of the band. This would have been a good buy place and get out as it come up to the top of the band. So even though it came out of the bottom of the band, this wasn't a good time to buy. This happens to be, and this was a good time to sell, but not the best time to sell. This was a good time to sell and then of course get back out here. With this tight band here, I haven't seen anything in this range that got that tight except for back here. And right in here. So just before the move, that band tightened right up. And we have a tighter band here. So that tight band says that we're in for a stronger move. And the band isn't negative, like it's not trending down, it's sort of holding sideways. I'm completely going blind on this and trying to feel my way around. So if you've got some Bollinger Band tips, like look at the 1-hour time frame, it still would have given like a sell signal at the bottom of this band. The bottom of the band, can I combine it with a 1, 2, 3 formation somehow? Can I combine it with my moving average crossovers? This is getting noisy for me. But clearly a buy signal here and a sell signal here would have worked out well. But I don't know yet how to use this. I will do some research so that I come here daily and I'm actually pulling up some information that might be helpful. This is a mess too. Like I don't get any news in this. And the closer time frame I get, the more I'll need a different approach. So nothing really setting up here for me. I'll do some more research on Bollinger Bands and we'll bring this in daily and see if we can pull some information out of it. But for now, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance on the 4-hour time frame. We have a top formation and it's pulling back. I did an episode yesterday saying the last time Bitcoin dominance did this, ... And I know from the comments in our Discord chat that people were expecting I was going to talk about the last time Bitcoin dominance did this formation. Oh, we had a heyday. It was incredible. Made a fortune during that period of time. But the thing is, I wanted to point out is the last time Bitcoin dominance did a top formation, it did a fake out and then went back the other way. So our risk control rules are really the most important thing in our crypto trading right now, because it hasn't proven us successful yet. It hasn't proven us correct. It's right on the edge. Some of our earliest coins are up some insane profits. We're up 97% on AMB on our alerts, 34% here, 45%, 115% on MDA. These trades really took off well because they were following along with the Bitcoin dominance right at this edge. So we got in at those formations, just beautiful. And we're watching those coins now. The second generation of coins are getting ready to be taking off. So if you're wondering which altcoins you should be getting into, consider signing up for the Patron Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. This is the most simple, most powerful way to see which coins are doing what. Much more powerful than Bitcoin dominance. We're getting into exactly which coins are in hold status on Binance, which coins are in alert status, and we give you the ability to go in and see the color coding as it's unfolding. So if we go back to some history, you can see how this went from neutral to alert status to hold status, and we have our exit status here as well. What that means is that if Bitcoin dominance is giving us a fake out here and it starts to go back the other direction, all of the alts are going to be crushed. And we will need to know exactly when and which coins to get out of, because not all of them will go down as much. Some of them will go down more if Bitcoin dominance goes this way. So really keen time. There are an army of coins to be getting into. Probably 1/3 of them you want to not get into. 2/3 of the coins will be really good to get into. 1/3 of them are going to absolutely kick butt. And that's why we're doing this spreadsheet. And so that we are following along and we're getting the overall general trend of how the market's going and the specific information about which ones to be holding, which ones are coming up to a hold, and which ones are an exit status. And you get access to all that information here with the simple Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. What else do I have up here? Oh, fun chart, this one. I can put this in the chat. I love to have this open because it shows all of the Bitcoin liquidations. And it's actually what is part of the screen up in the top corner here is I've got that pulled in. And then down at the very bottom, we can see all of the different Bitcoin prices. And that's from this page pulled in here. Multi-coin charts. Oh, we can see Litecoin took a little bit of pressure here this morning with some big wick down. Ripple looks like it's could be a top formation, but it certainly is moving its way up. Ethereum, I thought it was going to top out earlier, and it's still in a bigger 1, 2, 3 top formation. We'll do a live stream this afternoon at 3 o'clock, and we'll go through these coins and see what they're actually telling us. But now, let's go back into Bitcoin. Zoom into the close time frame, because who knows what it's doing right this minute, except that it is potential 1, 2, 3s. And this is the kind of thing that you would nano trade your way into. Let me go back up to the chat and say M is enough. Okay, good to know. Trader Retuto GXS BTC. Let's take a look at that one. Tor, good to have you along. Just buy the market cipher indicator and you're good to go. Okay. There are so many indicators. It's not a matter of the indicator. It's a matter of how you trade it. So unless it's hooked up as a bot right to your account and you are the middle point of that trading indicator, you got to work on yourself if you're the one that's in the middle of that indicator. So BTC is bullish on the daily and the 12-hour now, but short-term pushing down. Hard to say, really. I don't know. Good morning, all, from Skoche. Good morning, Tor. Awesome. There are some really good indicators out there. Let's zoom back. That about wraps it up here for today. I've got a yoga class to get ready for and some phenomenal stuff going on in our Discord group. Really excited to go through all of our, the spreadsheet of all of our alerts right now. And if you're familiar at all with the last couple bull markets, you'll probably be interested in this back testing that we did from the last time we had big bull markets. While this backtesting is theoretical, this is where I traded it, and I made some really phenomenal profits off of this. These very same formations, 450%, 400%, 400%, 600%, 500%. Are you prepared for these kind of returns in cryptocurrencies? You can't do it day trading. You're not going to get 600% in a day trade. Anyway, I will sign off for now, and I will see you guys over on our Discord chat. We'll continue to talk about Bitcoin as these prices unfold. If something big happens, we are there covering it. We are covering what's going on with these indicators. And I am also seeking out your feedback on Bollinger Bands. Give me some details on what your thoughts on Bollinger Bands, because I don't have a clue. Alrighty. Thank you again for being along. I will sign off and wish you guys all the best in your Bitcoin trading today.